we yesterday we were basically discussing the leg, the what's it called now, sizes, and so many other things. I just want to point out to you that I want to give you an analogy of what we were trying to demonstrate yesterday. Okay, this is a size 47 last, right? And this leg is also very similar to 47 in length and all. Uh, in between 46 and a half and 47. And you can basically see that by comparing the length of the leg with the last. You can see it is very, very close to the top, Abby. And you already know that if this is the size of the last, if this is the last they want to use to make shoe for you, which will size you, your leg should not even get to the front. There's usually a space there, right? A minimum of 1 centimeter, depending on how wide or narrow. The narrower it is, the longer the space will be. The wider it is, the shorter the space, right? But however way, your leg should not be touching this one from inside. If it's touching, then it's already an undersize. Now, so that space is well, it's available here, meaning that this we can use this for this leg, right? But here's the thing. Let us now compare, because when we take the measurements, we always write down the parameters of the leg. So let's compare if we can actually use this last for this leg. Is that okay? So just exactly the same way we measured, we are going to measure back. So we always measure the ball. You can see that the ball region of this leg is also corresponding to the ball of this. You can see it, right? So let's measure from what I wrote here during the measurement. This is 26.1. So measuring the ball of this last, this is 27.8 thereabout. Is anything wrong there? Would anything be wrong? This is 26.1. This is 27.8. So let's move on. Moving on, this part is 25.6. Meanwhile, you see the ball is usually very wide. Just immediately after the ball, the measurement is usually smaller than the ball itself. Do you get? Because literally the ball is shooting out. So this one is 25.6 as against 26.1 for the ball. It is absolutely normal. Okay. So let's measure and see what it is here. This one is saying 27 point, what is this now? 27.6 thereabouts. But this one is saying 25.6, right? When we move on to the back, this is 29 point, let's say 2 or 3, while this is 26.6. If for any reason I want to make a shoe for this person, this is a client customer, of which the slippers I told you to draw yesterday, this is the person you are making it for, right? So if I decide to use this last to make a shoe for the person and to make a slippers for the person, what do you think will be, what do you think will happen? What do you think? It will, you sure it's 1 centimeter? This is 26.6. This is 28 point. What's your own opinion? Let me hear. These are my students here. Okay, plus you. You'll be okay. Expand. Oh yeah, Uncle Tega, what will be the it will be B. That's just the truth. It means even though this person is wearing, remember I told you this last they are always made with the average width, right? They just scan the population and say this is the average 47. That is over half of the population that wear 47. This last should fit them. But I mentioned it yesterday that we have people with slim and even big. Somebody can be wearing 47, you use this last to make shoe for them. It will not size them. Their leg will not enter. Shey you get. So, but from what we can see now, this person has a very slim leg because the value are just so much. Now, let me tell you one thing. Uh, if the leg is not as rigid as the last is very rigid. The leg by itself can compress. This last cannot compress, meaning that this last is fixed. Your own leg can accommodate some little excess or little differences, right? uh if you make a shoe or a slippers with this last for this person, it's going to be too big. It's going to be way too big. Is that okay? It is very logical enough that you see that what we measured here is 28 point something, and this one is 26.1. Even though leg now tallies, abi length of leg tallies. So this person now that wears from what we discussed yesterday, this person that wears 47, that has a 47 length of leg, but is is slim, is a slim leg. If this person wants to tell you his size, he's going to tell you if he wears 47, but a small 47. That small that is attached to the 47 is just telling you, okay, length 47, because actually the length determines that 47 by itself, right? The person will tell you it's a small 47, meaning that the leg is slim. Make sure that what you are doing is up to what the size 47 can wear, but it should not be as wide as what a normal 47 should look like. Do you get? That's just what I want to point out. That's just what I want to point out. Now, in some instances or cases, let's say for instance now, this last now, when you measure this 26.1, I'm going to check this again. It always happens. When you measure this 26.1 and this is 26.1, there's a tendency that, or this is smaller than 26.1, it will still size this person because of the fact that the leg is flexible. The leg can compress, can become bigger. But usually, to stay on the safe side, let your measurement tally. Is that okay? If if the difference is not that much, you are fine. If so, what will now happen if this is the only size 47 last that you have? Because obviously, by the time, give me a size 44 last. By the time you measure this, so that we can see which last will get this width. By the time you measure this and you now find out that this last is going to be too big, what do you think you'll be able to do? Anyone. It should be left leg, right leg. We have two things to make now: slippers and a shoe, right? What will you do in the case of the shoe? What will you do in the case of the slippers? Seeing this value, mean backward. What will you do for a shoe? You you cannot, I cannot even entertain. I don't know. It's not possible. Yes. Okay. Are you done? Yes, say it again. Say it again. Yes. Okay. I don't. I know what you're saying. So if you use only cardboard, what will not happen? You say you measured the. Okay, so what you are going to do, you already established that this glass is very big, hmm? And this glass is your only option, right? What you can do, there are just a few things you can do because you are taking the job, you are spending the money, you want to satisfy the person. One, you can use this shoe to last the person's, use this last to last the person's shoe or make a shoe for the person. But for the fact that you know that it's going to be too spacious, too voluminous inside, you can now put pad when you're done inside to remove the excess space. It's more like your mommy bought you, you know how mommy used to buy shoe for us, that it will be too big. They will think you actually wear it for 3 years, but it will spoil down the line 6 months. So why did they even actually, why did they even buy oversized shoe? But then before you wear it, for you to be able to wear it, you put something inside. No, not the front. Now you cannot put anything in front of this one because the leg is just where it should be. It is just that it is too big. The leg can be moving like this inside. Shey you get? So what you do is to just put pad, just laying pad on the floor until you are able to. But the best thing would have been, of course, you don't have a last that can do it. So if that's the only option you have, that's what you have to do. But for the slippers, uh, the moment you shift the last backward, the last is becoming smaller. So this is how it was when we were measuring. When I shift it backward like this, a little bit, if I'm to take the measurement again, let's see what the last will say, because it's going to be the same position as I measured the leg. Now, if I measure now, this is 25.6, or what was that? 25.7, and this is 26.1. If I go ahead backward now, let's go to the back, back, and just do this straight forward. This is 26.6. This is already still too big, but when you shift it to the back, generally the sizes tend to become smaller. Shey you get? So that's the only thing you can do. This is the person who wants to make that slippers I told you people to do. This is the person. I just want to quickly brief you so that you'll be able to know, when we start making it, you'll be able to know why we are doing some other things. Now, if you are lucky enough and you have, for the slippers, if you are lucky enough and you have, let's say you have set of this last. Where is the last I told you? No, bring this last, this one. Bring the size 44. This is a smaller version of this one. Abi? Now, if you happen to have smaller sizes of this, it might be useful for you for the palm, because if it is palm, you don't actually need the length, because everything behind is is open. Shey you get. You don't actually need. So let's position this here, and it is short at the back, but it is complete in front. So let's see whether it will be useful or it will be too small. This is 25, 24 point, this is 24.8 thereabout, and this is 26. It means this is 43. It means by the time we use 44 or 45, we will have gotten a a last that will be able to do a slippers for this person, even though it is a little bit short at the back. Is that alright? Are we clear on that? But for shoe, you will have to use this, or otherwise you use maybe a 46. Then the person's leg will be very much in front. Is that okay? Is that solved? Alright. So when you have, what should the insole be like? Let's say you have a pattern for the insole. A pattern. Who do this one? Okay. Let's say you have a pattern for the insole and you have drawn the leg. You have drawn the leg and you drew it well. This kind of sole are those that have welt all around them. Do you get? They have welt, abi? Each welt is usually about between 0.6, 0.5 in width. This around zero. This is how welt used to be wide. So let's say if you put it all around, both the welt in front and at the back all around, if you add it to the length of this thing, it's just going to be around 1 centimeter or 1.1, 1.2 centimeter max. Abi? So how will you know out of your pattern which insole is going to fit this last, regarding of the irrespective of the size? Let's say you have not gotten the size. How will you know which insole is going to fit the person? So what you just do is take your pattern. You already know that slippers, your leg must not actually reach the front also. There should be a little space. It can be anything less than 1 centimeter. Let's say 0.8 to 1 centimeter. By the time you start doing 1.5 and 2 centimeter, is already too much space. Shey you get? So you put your insole pattern. If it is the sole that you have, just make it touch the back. But this is not the complete sole. There's still going to be welts behind it. So shift it until you know that the space there is enough for the welts. Then you look at the front. Then you now put the position of the welt. Can you give me one welt so I can demonstrate what I'm saying? Okay, so this is what a welt looks like, a design welt per se. So you put this in such a way that this welt will now be like the same position, excuse me, the same position with the back of the leg exactly. So this space that is in between the insole and the welt and the back is the welt. You have to be also careful if you are going to file your welt very small or you leave it almost the same size. Does anyone not understand what I just said? Other than him, you will understand when you actually see filing. So this is already done at the back, abi? Is this thing blocking you? Sorry. So you go to the front and check the check what's remaining. When you put this weight, it has to be longer than the length of the leg. And you can obviously see that. Meaning that the insole pattern of this one will be okay for this person's leg. Is that okay? Good. If it is if it's a complete sole by itself, you will not need to remove anything from here. You just put it to the back, and the front should exceed the leg a little bit. Is that okay? Or the highest point of the leg a little bit. Is that okay? So that's how to choose your insole pattern. The insole pattern has been chosen here and it has been made. We'll proceed to make what we want to make for this person. Thank you.